Well, hello my friend and welcome back. This video is for Wednesday, November 2nd, but it's currently Thursday, November 3rd. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Just went and had an awesome hour and a half workout. Got back, took a shower, green juice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty chilled now. The green juice calmed me down because I had I don't know, maybe 60-70% leafy greens and a cucumber and 3 apples. So I'm all those leafy greens really kind of just relaxed me out. But today was a good day. Let's talk about Full Sail. So I had a test today. It was the midterm for the microphones and theory class. And last night I'd stayed up pretty late studying for it. I went to bed around 5 or so. So I studied for an hour and a half, 2 hours as soon as I got the video done. And I'm actually going to do the same tonight. I'm just going to start studying the more advanced signal flows and everything. We'll get to that. But anyway, so I knew that I was going to have the practical quiz today in lab. But then it was only last night that I found out that we had midterm, and it's it was kind of like a facepalm, dope kind of moment, because it's well, duh, of course you're gonna have midterm. It's halfway through, And I was so used to having midterms at the end of the week instead of on a Wednesday that it just kind of went over my head. So the studying that I did definitely helped out. I'm glad that I spent that time reviewing all the study guides and everything. Because on Propeller for microphones and theory, for each lecture or for each section that we cover, there's 2 files you can download. There's the PowerPoint slides, which they converted into a PDF file, which is pretty cool. It's really convenient, actually. It's way more convenient than the PowerPoint file. So there's that, and then you also have a condensed study guide. So I went over the study guides last night because it was a bit quicker, and it had all the key major points. So I was feeling pretty good. I wasn't feeling too bad about it going into it. And he gives us the test, the Scantron. Started filling it out. Then he gives me the test, and I look at it, and it looked really thick. And I flipped it over, and the thing was 100 freaking questions. 100 questions. That's the longest test I've had to date here at school. And it totally caught me off guard. I know I passed, but my question is how well did I pass? I'm hoping I'm really crossing the fingers that I got an A on it, but I'm kind of worried about it, because like I said, I studied as well as I could have, but some of those questions, I know I had to guess on, and I'm hoping I got them right. I mean, I used pretty good test taking skills. You know what I mean? I really did the what's it called? It's like a choice elimination or whatever, and I used a lot of common sense, and I did more applying of knowledge than just recurring facts, which I suppose is the more important of the 2 ways to do it. If you're actually able to apply the information that you know. So the choice by elimination was a big thing on some of the questions today, and then there were some of them that I was oh, I read that last night, I know what that is. So the studying, you gotta do it, because not only because you have to, but because it helps. I mean, studying, people wouldn't do it if it didn't work, and that's not always true, but in most cases it usually is. You have to find out what, style of studying is best, you're best suited for, or that you like the most. But that's the cool thing about the first couple months here, is that they're not as important, so you can play around with the studying styles and figure out what you need to do to study. That way when you get to the classes like microphones and recording consoles, you can apply those methods of studying to really get the stuff, because the stuff this month, it's the topics are things that you don't know. This is why you're coming to the school, So of course it's going to be really hard, or at least harder than the first couple months. But no, I'm kind of iffy about the test. I know I passed because it was 100 questions. I mean, I couldn't have missed. I mean, if I missed more than 30 questions, then maybe I should fail. But I didn't miss that many questions. I'm positive. So it's no worries there. And then so before we started the test, The lecturer instructor, he was like, well, because he was like, since I've heard such good things from my lab techs about this class, he's like, I'm sure I can squeeze in the manufacturer history a little bit later, so after the test you're free to go, don't worry about coming back. So it took me about a half hour, 45 minutes to finish the test, and I was out of there. So we started at 1:15 and I was home by 2:15. So it was pretty cool. I had like 3 hours. It was another beautiful day. I opened up all the windows, and actually took a nap like in the middle of the living room floor, and it felt like I was falling asleep outside. It was great. And then I woke up around 4, and then I closed all the windows and got ready and headed off to lab for the practical. And I thought we were gonna have like an actual lab afterwards, but no, it was just the practical quiz, and then that's it. And then of course, like, we had one guy that didn't show up for his quiz. There's one guy in our group that, like, I don't know, he's weird. Like, he showed up twice for lab, and we've had 4 labs. So like, I don't know if he's like, I don't know what his deal is. So there's 4 of us that are definitely there. 3 of us, myself included, are always on time, and then the 4th guy is like always late for some reason. But I mean, I'm sure he has his reasons. But let's see, I was the one to go last today, so we pretty much just hung out in the board room with the mixing console and all the outboard gear and the patch bay, and then like, he took us out. Well, first off, we did the microphone identification. So we had the 15 mics, and we had to know we didn't have to know the manufacturer. We didn't have to write that. We had to know the model, the polar pattern, the address, and then the type of transducer, and then whether or not it needed phantom power. And really, if you know the transducer type, then that gives away the phantom power answer. Like condenser mics, you need phantom power. Dynamics, you don't. So I mean, those two kind of go together, I think. And same thing with the manufacturer and model number. Like most of them, like Audio-Technica, all their models that we they start with AT. Like we have the AT 2020 Audio-Technica. So some of them, it kind of go together. But for the most part, that was really easy. I got all those right. I'm positive. So there was no worries there. And then for the second half, he took us one by one into the live room, and basically we had 2 microphones that we had to set up, and we only had to wire one of them to the what's it called? The mic line input, the channel mic input. So let's see, we had to set up the SM57, and we had to put up the ShinyBox 44 MXL. Excuse me. Oh goodness. So one of them, so the 44 MXL needed the shock mount, and then of course the 57 just went right in a clip. So it was pretty easy, and we just had to set it up for vocal use, and I did everything right, and he was like, all right, now go ahead and wrap that wire with the over or under technique. And like, I've been practicing that one because I got my cable, so it's over there. But yeah, I've been practicing. Like, if I'm sitting here bored at the computer and I don't know what to do, I grab the cable and I throw it and I start practicing the over under technique. So I practice my line or cable wrapping, because you never know. It's the small things, right? It's the small details that could get you the job over the next guy. Like, if you can coil the cable faster and better than the next guy, but he's just the same in everything else, who is the studio going to take as an intern, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's the small things, I think, and not just with like getting a job, but with everything. It's the details and the small things that really make it important. So yeah, I whipped that stuff out. It was no problem. And then he was like, all right, and just go ahead and strike everything else, and you're free to go. And like I said, I was the last one, and I didn't mind, because I like hanging out at school. I like being on campus. And especially with the weather out today, I don't mind. I really don't mind being out of the house, because, I mean, it's like when I'm here, I open the windows anyway, until it gets dark at least. But no, it was a good day. So the practical quiz, I rocked it, no problem. I mean, that was easy. but the written test, it was all multiple choice, and it was 100 questions, and I don't know, I think the fact there was 100 questions really helped me out, but gosh, I'm really hoping I did well. And of course, every time, well, usually when I get like this, I end up doing pretty well anyway, but I mean, I don't know, I'm worried. Hopefully I do good. We'll see. But at least it's over with, and I have the next one to look forward to. And I'm really hopping on this stuff. Like tonight, like I said, I'm going to start going through and checking out the more advanced signal flow for recording consoles, and still reviewing the microphones and going over everything. And I might even look ahead at the manufacturer history, just to get a little head start on that. And yeah, I mean, everything's going pretty good. I've been working out like crazy. I've been pushing it. I need to get some of those like arm weights. I'm gonna get like 10 pounders, like 10 pounds on each side, and like wear those things all the time or something. I don't know. But freshman 15, no sir or ma'am, not for me. That's for sure. Oh, but I know as soon as Mina gets down here, I'm gonna be eating way better. It's gonna be healthy and unprocessed foods, but it's gonna be delicious. Because like the reason that I've been mainly sticking to like 80-90% raw foods is just because like I don't mind cooking, but I don't like cleaning up the like. I'd rather be able to like juicing takes me like 5 minutes, and that's the max amount of time I want to spend on making food. So, I guess I wouldn't say. I took cooking class in high school senior year because it was an easy grade, but like still. I don't want to be cooking. I don't want to spend time on that when I don't have to. So I don't, and that's really the reason. Because not only does it make you healthy, and like radiant and vibrant or whatever, but it's quick and easy, and you can just throw it in the bag and go. So I really don't know where I'm going with that, but point is, it's like I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm trying to have the brains and the bronze, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's up with me right now. Other than that, I mean, Full Sail's going great. To those who watch all the videos, like Rascals, I can't wait to meet you, man. I don't know when you're coming down. I can't remember if you told me or not. You probably did. But it was probably a while ago. But anyway, if you're checking out this video, then like let me know when you're coming down, man, because I'd love to hang out and make some tunes or whatever. At any rate, to everyone else who's watching, I'd love to meet you if you ever end up coming down here to go to school. It's a great place, great weather, at least right now, and probably in the spring. But I'm sure it gets really hot in the summer. The buildings are air conditioned, though. Don't get me wrong, they are air conditioned. The live room that I have my microphone lab in, it's seriously like you walk in there, it's a refrigerator, like a legit refrigerator. It's bad. Oh, good for the equipment, but I mean, you better bring a jacket. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video. I'm gonna get to checking out all these notes and good stuff. One last thought before we go. I downloaded an app today on the iPad, and it was for the Reactable. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's like REAC and then table, like TABLE. I know Bjork used one on one of her tours like a while ago, but they made an app for it now on the iPad and iPhone and the iPod Touch. So check out, it's called the Reactable Mobile, and they have some videos on YouTube. So if you have like an iPhone or anything, like any of the three that I just said, then check it out. It's like $10 and it's worth it because it's cool and you can import your own loops to it. I'm going to have a blast with that, that's for sure. I might end up playing with that tonight. Who knows. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. And it's going to be a great day tomorrow, I just know it. And I hope you're having a great day too. So I will see you tomorrow after we get done with recording consoles. I have another late labs. It's going to be late again. But until next time, I'm signing out.